And welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Joe Wright, and tonight I'm here with the original Rebels Racing League Outlaw Truck Series from Sunday night, brought to you by Hardline Trucking Solutions. And we got a banger for you tonight, 100 laps from Kansas Speedway, race number 3 of the season. Speaking of race number 3, let's take a look at those points real quick. Currently, Eric Burkhalter in first place. Second is Andy Kurtz after winning. That slides him up into that second spot. Steve Loving tied for second. In fourth spot, you got Adam Lang and Fry Hubbard round up your top 5. I'll leave those up for a second so you take a look at them if you don't know already. Last week they were at Michigan. In the trucks, Andy Kurtz takes the win. Steve Loving came second. Adam Lang, your third place finisher. Daniel Stewart, fourth. And Eric Burkhalter in fifth, your points leader. So far in practice, Jonah Colbert, your fastest with a 30.97, but right behind him, Adam Lang with a 30.98. So these guys are flying here at Kansas Speedway. About 3.5 minutes left here in practice. And I don't know if you've never watched these guys before or not, but if it's your first time watching, man, these guys put on a show here. And this isn't my usual series, but tonight I'm with the original Rebels. Josh is out. A little bit of work going on for him. Selling that jewelry. And as I said, Jonah Colbert here as we watch him on screen. Your fastest in practice. About 2 minutes left. Looks like he's taking the high line here at Kansas. And that seems to be the fast way around. A lot of guys like to take the high line entry and diamond off. That may be even faster. And you'll see guys get on the apron a little bit here as well, depending on the run they get. Like I said before, 100 laps from Kansas coming up to you real soon and get a qualifying started. And lots of series sponsors and such to go over. We'll have a Mr. Irrelevant award, a Hard Luck award, a Hard Charger. The starting grid, though, is going to be brought to you by BK Motorsports, and we'll talk about that in a minute once we get that locked down. Mr. Irrelevant. We'll also have the Peg Leg Felts Pole Award. And then we'll also have post-race interviews brought to you by the Super Series, or Thunderstruck Super Series. The really cool stuff that these guys are doing. Like I said, race 3 from Kansas. Already 2 races in the books. If you're watching, give me a shout out. And I'll try to answer your shout outs. And let me know who you're watching, who you're rooting for tonight. 20 seconds, and we'll get that qualifying stuff going for you. You can see there, Jonah Colbert, your fastest in practice. So we'll pay attention to him here when qualifying gets going in a second. See who hits the track first. And they'll have 10 minutes. Check out Corey Bragg, because he's one of the first guys on track. Like those numbers on that Bragg machine. Help me award the best paint job tonight, too. So if you're in the chat, shout it out what you think is the best paint job. Colton Lanford from Colorado Springs, Colorado, looking for his first win in that AMP machine. Bragg about 2/10 off. Let's look at Kurtz. Your winner from last week. He's only going to do one lap. Maybe they only do one lap here. Tyler Barnett with his one lap. Here's Matt Knight's Intensity Broadcasting's own Slick Willie. Matt not lifting at all. Should be a good lap here for Matt. We'll see what he has coming to the line. Matt Knight's P13. Jonah Colbert coming in second. Jonathan Cofield. Let's check out Michael Koscheck. Koscheck to the line. He's going to be P4. Nice lap from him. How about Burkhalter? What's he got for him? Pretty stacked field full of amazing drivers here tonight. Burkhalter to the line. And he'll be P13. Check out Travis Bieber from Ole, Pennsylvania. Ryan Hubbard is also on track. Tyler Barnett says Logan Monteith will win it. Mama Ellingson says go number 61. Tyler Barnett putting my mortgage on it. Okay. And Monteith says RAP your money. Nice, boys, nice. See what Bieber does here coming to the line. It might be Bieber. I'm not really sure. I'll have to ask him. Good enough for P15th currently. How about Jerry LeGrand? Ooh, Jerry into the wall. That's not going to help the lap time. Uh-oh. The legend has entered the building. Welcome to the jungle. Isn't that the truth? NFL score update. If you're a caring person about that. Currently 14-14 at the half. Bills Chiefs. Buccaneers getting knocked off. The legend coming to the line. Greg Froelich. And Greg laying down the slowest lap of all qualifiers so far, a 32:21. And just to put that in perspective, the top driver of Eddie Smith is currently a 31:05, so only 1 second, 1.15 seconds separate the bottom from the top right now in qualifying. So tells you how close the field is on talent. Here comes Daniel Stewart in a Davey Allison-esque paint job. At least the colors, anyhow. Sorry if you're a New England fan or a Buccaneers fan or a Tom Brady fan. He done. Daniel Stewart's going to come in P9 right now. As it stands, 1:42 left. I don't know that anybody else is going to take a lap. We'll see. Still have a large group there of drivers who haven't hit the track. Currently 30 drivers have qualified. 9 left. Some of them may be admins here, so that's just what we see from our end. But that's going to be about it. That's going to do it here from Kansas qualifying. And I think what that does is it awards Eddie Smith your Peg Leg Felts Pole Award. And now for the starting grid in a second as they prepare to get gridded. About 15 seconds and they'll start doing that. But the starting grid is brought to you by BK Motorsports. Josh set me up for failure. Thanks, Josh. Love you. And reminder, this race is brought to you by Hardline Transport Solutions. And as I said, Eddie Smith, your pole sitter here for tonight's race and the winner of the Chuck Pegleg Felts Pole Award. Outside of him will be Adam Lang in the 8 machine. Starting P3 will be Jonah Colbert in that 34, fastest in practice. Outside of him will be Chris McLean in that 05. Tyler Barnett will start 5th. Logan Monteith will start 6th. 7th sees Michael Kostek. Jamie Mullins in the 66 machine. Start outside of him. From Tennessee, Daniel Stewart from Colorado will be P9 in the 09. 10th will be Jonathan Cofield. Andy Kurtz is going to start 11th. Colton Lanford, 12th. Justin Miller, 13th. Todd Schott, 7 in the 70 machine, 14th. Hagen Ellingson, going to roll off 15th. Travis Bieber, 16th. Tyler DeTalante. DeTalante? Sure. 17th. Eric Burkhalter is going to roll off 18th. I'm getting it all mixed up as they come off of pit road. We'll just roll through here. James Jones rounding out your top 20, though. Eddie Smith in that Tennessee Titans machine. Bad loss for them this week. Might have to give him the hard luck award. As we're about to go green flag racing here from Kansas Speedway, 100 laps in the Outlaws Truck Series by Original Rebels Racing League. And that 87 machine, Eddie Smith, with a decent start here over the 8 of Adam Lang. Jonah Colbert finding his way right to that back bumper, though, early. We'll see if that's going to pay dividends as they come off of turn 2. And it does. The 8 machine getting freight trained on the outside. And even the 05 now of Chris McLean coming into the picture. And these guys sticking to that low side here early. And as I say that, the leader, Eddie Smith, a little dip up to enter the corner. A little bit easier on the entry there. A look back from that 87 machine as the field chases him. Couple guys loose off of 4 there. Saw some wiggles out of a couple of them. So far, Eddie Smith leads the way. Awesome two wide racing here between Logan Monteith and Chris McLean. I'm sorry, that's Tyler Bennett. He clears Tyler Bennett into P5. Tyler Barnett is going to slide back to 6th. A really good battle here between the 05 and the 8. And that's for third spot. 05 is clear here. Let's see if he slides up. He does. He's going to take that third spot away from Adam Lang. A little further back now. The 09 of Daniel Stewart making moves. He's going to go under the 84 in now of Tyler Barnett. Sorry, Tyler. D. Talent. Got it. And there's your ticker, Mr. Mike. Mike Swink entering pit lane. Here early. But so far, Eddie Smith to the point. And holding it down from the beginning here. Jonathan Cofield finding his way around the 66 machines of Jamie Mullins into the 9th spot. Hagen Ellingson, one of our top movers through the field so far tonight. And I really like that paint job too. And they're already up to 10th, up 5 spots from the beginning of the race. Your biggest mover though right now, Kai Shepard in that Ford machine. With Sweet Thunderbird's paint job. Adam Lang from Evanston, Wyoming. Giving chase to the front here, but Jonah Colbert, Eddie Smith, and Chris McLean all showing the way. Logan Monteith a little high, maybe getting a little tight. Maybe trying to find some speed, one of the two. Maybe some tire strategy there from the 91. We'll see. '19 machine of Matt Clemon underneath the 10 of James Jones. It looks like a lot of these guys are starting to migrate up the track to that outside line. As the trucks go along, they do get a little tighter and a little harder to drive down on that bottom line. But Clemon not having any problem with that right now as he clears that 10 machine. And now Steve Loving doing the same behind him. Kostek underneath the 8 now as well of Adam Lang. Adam Lang looks like he might have gotten into the wall. A little right side damage to that truck. The car truck. Ooh, another one in the wall. That's the 09 of Daniel Stewart. I think I just said they're going to get tight. Boys, they're going to get tight. Monteith to the outside by a nose there. He's starting to get that run going on that outside line as these guys get tighter and have to get out of the gas in front of him. So as he comes off the corner, you'll see maybe a crossover. We'll see if he just stays there behind him and shoves him along, but that's what he does. High, wide, and handsome, as Josh will call it. But Eddie Smith leads the way still. Colbert not letting him get away, only a half a second between him and Jonah. But he is starting to open that gap just a little bit at a time now. And that clean air really doing him a favor. To the inside goes the 5 now. Randy Kurtz, he clears the 8. And Adam Lang really struggling now with that 8 machine after getting into the outside wall. Him and the 09 both struggle here now after getting some damage to that right side. Real close race for second right now. Here comes that 91 of Logan Monteith. Down to the inside now as he saved some tires for the last couple of laps. Didn't get angry at him. Ooh, little loose for Monteith off the corner. He goes high now. No run for him. The 05 with a crossover, and now to the inside of him goes Chris McLean. We saw the 84 a minute ago kind of sliding back. That's Tyler Barnett. He's where he started right now at the beginning of the race. But as you can see, just nice and smooth, finding the rhythm, letting those guys go burn their tires off a little bit. And that will pay dividends later in this run as well. Meanwhile, Eddie Smith has really set sail now, a second and almost a second and a half since we last talked about a full second. And Eddie not really looking like he's struggling at all. Kind of out for a Sunday drive. (17-14) Chiefs, middle of the third quarter, if you're worried about that. Monteith now to the inside of the 34 as he is hunting the front. Slide job back up in front of the 34 now, real tight. Woo-wee. Almost getting into the wall off of 4, but able to hang on to her. I'd imagine in 1 and 2 he'll hang it high here. And these guys are starting to get a little bit tight off when they really send it. The 34 of Jonah Colbert able to slide it back in line here behind the 91. This is one of the closer battles on track. Andy Kurtz as well in that 5 machine. As he's chasing Peg and Ellerson. Monteith starting to open that gap now to the guys behind him as he tries to give chase to Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith maintaining that interval of about 1.96 seconds. We'll see if Monteith can cut that down. I think it's about time for a pump it up. I'm gonna pump up the intensity for a second here and take a break. We did see during that brief period there some guys hitting pit road. Daniel Stewart, Corey Bragg, Mike Bertosa, Mike Swink, Froenick, Todd Schott a bit ago. But mostly Corey Bragg, Daniel Stewart, Greg Froenick, and Mike Bertosa Jr. hitting pit road most recently. Eddie Smith, still your leader. Logan Monteith giving chase 2.5 seconds now. Monteith into the wall. He's been flirting with that wall all night. Finally bit him. That will surrender the second place spot back to Jonah Colbert. Close racing here from Justin Miller as he's putting that pressure on Adam Lang. Aggressive move to the left for the 56 machine. As we talked about it, truck's getting a little tighter here. The 8 little loose off of 2 there. Gives the 56 a really good run down the backstretch and into 3 and 4. He'll be able to clear the 8 as he slides up the track here off the corner. Adam Lang having some tough luck right now. One of your tough luck award winners, minus 11 spots on track. Is struggling to keep that thing going in the right direction as it applies to places. Lots more guys hitting pit road now. Brandon Pollock, Greg Byronette, Kai Shepard, John Smeal, Colton Lanford all finding their way to pit road. Looks like that green flag pit run should be about 34 to 38 laps, somewhere in that region, depending on how well you did saving. But if you can make it to 33 and save an extra lap or two, you've probably made it on 2 stops, which is good. If this thing goes green, which it looks to be like it may. Matt Knight's on pit road. Kenneth Pack, Charles Gates Jr., Charlie Gates Jr. See how this whole thing shakes out. The guys who've pitted early are going to have a little bit faster lap times for a little bit. That's going to give them quite an advantage on track, depending on how close everybody was. I mean, in qualifying, everybody was separated by about 1.5 seconds or so. Mom Alex, are you asking who sponsors the Hard Luck Award? And yes, P&J Motorsports does, yes. So now we have a mix of guys on new tires racing against some of the guys on old tires. And sometimes that can get a little hairy. Logan Monteith, Adam, Andy Kurtz, Travis Bieber, Tyler Bennett, Pagan Ellickson, and Eric Burkhalter all seeing to pit road. Eddie Smith, your leader, race leader, to pit road. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes back out on track as it relates to the other drivers. So give you a kind of a look. Your leader, or the person I'm actually paying attention to, is in green. There, he's on pit road. And the current leader in the field is Jonathan Cofield. And Cofield is coming down the front stretch now. So Cofield will have the lead for the time being. He still needs to hit pit road eventually. Him, Justin Miller, Steve Loving, Steve McDowell, Ryan Huff, David Necula, James Jones, and Phil Hitman Manzo. The top 8, hoping for a caution here. You can see just coming off the corner there behind the 53 is Eddie Smith, the guy leading the race previous to green flag pit stops here. But Jonathan Cofield and Steve Loving kind of hanging out, turning some laps, hoping for some things to happen, get a little swing their way in the shape of track position, but. As Eddie Smith goes by, Eddie Smith getting his own lap back. Here comes Jonah Colbert to do the same. So now that 53 just losing speed and time to the leaders. There's Steve Loving in the 27. He's second place, 4 seconds back though, as he looks to get to pit road now. Great entry from Loving. But that staying out that long is going to really hurt him here in the field as he comes back on track in a second. David Necula also hitting pit road. Your 4th place driver. Eddie Smith is currently 6th with Jonathan Cofield out front still. And here goes Cofield to the pit road. James Jones now acquiring the lead when he comes by, unless he goes to pit road. And it looks like that is going to be the case based on his speed entering 3 there. And it is. So 44 laps for those guys. The Hitman, will he stay out? Looks like he's gonna. He'll go lead himself a lap. Well, Phil Manzo leading a lap here at Kansas. Working lap 45 of 100. And Phil looking to get the pit road here. See if he can get down. As you just saw Eddie Smith go by him on the outside. Eddie regaining the lead now. And Jonah Colbert giving chase. You can kind of see Eddie right in front of him there. Only a second, 1.8 seconds. And Jonah making up a little bit of ground over the course of that green flag pit stop, but not enough to make a difference yet. Race for position on track is right here, though. Logan Monteith putting the pressure on the 05 of McLean. Or maybe the other way around. McLean clearing up in front of the 91. Andy Kurtz just behind them in that 5 machine. Jonah Colbert has this lead of Eddie's down to 1.5 seconds. And closing. Let's go on board with Jonah and see what he's changed up, what he's doing different here to make this more of a race between these two. You're just a little blip of the throttle there on entry for Jonah, but that's it. Back to the throttle and rolling. Halfway here at Kansas, and Eddie Smith having a strong performance. One of the hardest chargers of the field, though, Kai Shafford, up 25 positions. He's currently P10. Watch out for him to be fast here toward the end. That's only a halfway, and he's already made it through 25 cars. I can only imagine where he'll be here when this thing comes to close. Jerry LeGrand as well, up 19 positions. Froelich up 12. So those are some of your hard chargers so far. Brian Huff, 17 spots up. Hot Shot having a tough day. Colton Lanford down 18 spots, but still running. Colbert kind of steady here, not really gaining on Eddie Smith. Pretty consistent interval of about 1.7 to 1.5 seconds, depending on what lap car is doing what in front of them. Ooh, we got some guys going across the grass. That was Chris McLean. Oh, little door from a lapped car. Chris was able to hang on to it. That's tough. .4 now for Jonah Colbert. The closest race on track is between these two, though, right now, that 05 and the 3. But the 43 all over the place. Hard into the wall. And that was the same guy that got a hold of one of the other guys in the field a little bit ago. Knocked him across the grass. And Chris McLean got into him. Amazing what Chris McLean was able to do during that. Come back and make the pass and still be able to keep doing what he's doing. Him and Kostek, that 3 machine. That lead staying about the same between Jonah Colbert and Eddie Smith, about 1.5 seconds. No one leaving the other one. Tyler Barnett in the 84 now. Starting to put a little pressure on Kai Shappert. The 84 to the inside. The 84 able to clear with pretty good ease there. And we saw that from the 84 earlier. He slid back early in a run. And then later in his run, took the reins and started to charge ahead. Daniel Stewart hitting pit road now. Lap 60. Or coming to 60, I guess 59. Pagan Ellingson up to P9 as well. Up 6 positions from the start of the race. Andy Kurtz up 7 to 4th. Still, it's all about Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith leading the way here at Kansas and setting the pace for the field. The best lap of the day was set by him. He's leading the race by 1.5 seconds. And really putting on a clinic here at Kansas. 23-21 Chiefs, end of the third quarter, in case you're wondering about that game. Eddie Smith dominant like the Rams over the Buccaneers earlier today. Matt Stafford slinging it for the win. Let's see if Jonah Colbert can start slinging it for the win. And he's kind of been just hanging out there all day. About a second and a half back. Holding on to them tires. Not forcing the issue with a lot of these lap cars. That's a 43 again. We saw him with a heavy damage earlier. Let's see if he can hang on to it now. It's Mike Bertosa Jr. On board now with the leader, Eddie Smith. Just see how long he's out of the throttle middle of the corner. He's coming up on Matt Knight's. Greg Froelich. Making easy work of those guys like they were standing still. Eddie Smith just on a rail tonight. Almost untouchable. And all he has to do is execute one more pit stop. And I probably just jinxed him into a caution. So it looks like most of these guys were lapping or pitting after about 35 laps. So if you were to pit right now, you could probably make it to the end there, Tom, if you're asking. At 35 laps, they usually run a little less fuel than full, I think. And some of these guys ran it dry as well, so we did see some guys run a little longer in the first stint. Maybe hoping to put a little less gas in it here at the end. So we'll see who can get on and off pit road fast if they have an advantage in that sense. Mullins in the 66 machine, racing with Chris McLean now. We'll see a lot of guys hitting pit road, as I said a second ago. We can look at those stint lengths. Some of the top guys running about 38, 39 laps, 37 for some of them. As you look further in the field, probably got a little longer, I'm pretty sure. So let's see if we can get more in there. There you go. You see the 26 and the 27 running 44 and 45 laps. The window is pretty large. The downfall is that if they don't hit pit road before then, they lose too much time on track. So, as we see the 66 machine hitting the pit road now. Now the question remains, how long does the leader stay out? Every lap he stays out is a second, maybe half a second on lap. He's going to lose to the fastest car on track. Right now, that's 3 laps he could probably last. To Jonah Colbert, if Jonah hit pit road now. You know, Chris McLean is 10 seconds back from Eddie, so it could be, you know, a bit longer. The longer these guys stay out, the more chance they have of a green or a caution pit stop as well. So a lot of thoughts, a lot of strategies here playing out toward the end. Eddie Smith still, though, leading this thing almost from start to finish, with the exception of green flag pit stops. As we see guys on newer tires starting to go around him. But Eddie Smith, Jonah Colbert, Chris McLean, Jonathan Cofield, Pagan, Ellingson, and Ryan Derrick, the top six cars still on track. Ronick off of pit road, Mike Swink entering pit road. We'll see when the leader decides. He just went by the pit lane entrance there. As they work 26 laps to go here from Kansas. And Chris McLean and Jonah Colbert on pit road. So that's second and third hitting pit road at least 1 lap before the leader. We'll see what he does now if Eddie Smith hits pit road. He does. Oh! What a save by Eddie Smith. That might be the race-winning move. I thought for sure he was looping that thing around. Must have been playing with his brake bias during that run. Forgot to set it back. Looks like Chris McLean. Uh-oh, we have our caution. Uh-oh, this is going to shake it up. Let's see how this thing shakes out. This will be our first Wreckage Rewind of the night, brought to you by Kinder Farm and Ranch. Stand by while I cue this thing up. All right, let's see what happened here. Ooh, looks like the 56 just drifted up a little bit, got into the 71, spinning a little bit of left rear damage, but not too much, and able to get off the track. Let's look at that from the 56. Arrow push right up into the 71. Tough break for Burkhalter. Sure, he's not too stoked about that one. A lot of guys hitting pit road here. Eddie Smith being one of them. Actually, that was as he was coming off the pit road. Sorry. But it does look like Eddie Smith will still be your leader. Luckily for him. But people like Jonathan Cofield, Ryan Derrick, able to scoot in there, into those spots, based on track position when the timing of the caution. Big break for a lot of guys. Steve Loving, we saw Steve stay out longer on that first run. Fry Hubbard stayed out a bit longer. Travis Bieber as well. Kai Shappert was out for a while. A lot of those guys able to find some track position here with this caution. And also finding themselves hitting pit road right now as well. So we're going to lose a lot of that track position. Steve Loving, though, electing to stay out as well as Fry Hubbard. Maybe a smart idea. A lot of guys short on patience here late in the races. Could cause you another caution. Good time to get to pit road then and maybe get some tires and see what you can do with it. But Eddie Smith coming off pit road as that caution was happening. Going to have the lead here. On fresh tires. The freshest that you could have. Some might say he has an horseshoe up his backside. Tickers away. There's your top 20 if you want to look at those real quick. Alright, so maybe I have this wrong. Maybe Eddie Smith did not come out in time, but it is showing him scored as the leader, which I find weird. Let's see if that gets handled here in a second. Some very interesting stuff going on basically with timing and scoring. As soon as it gets ironed out, I'll let you know. Alright, all is right with the world, I think, now. So my assumption is what happened. They were a lap behind the other guys that were behind. That's weird. I don't know. I'm not even going to make assumptions. I have no clue what just happened. I know that the two cars between Eddie Smith and Jonah Colbert are not for position. I'd imagine those guys will be headed to the back when we go to one to go. When they double file up. That'd be the 25 and the 1. The 1 is scored 24th. And the 25 is scored 31st. And they're going to go single file for this one, I guess. Eddie Smith, 20 laps to go. No pressure from behind yet, but Jonah Colbert is going to have something to say about that in a second. Jonah Colbert to the inside of the 2 lap cars now. 18 laps to go. Time enough to chase Eddie Smith. And pegging Ellenson. Bringing out the next caution here. Let's go see if we can find it. Records Rewind number 2 brought to you Kinder Farm and Ranch. Some really close racing, some 3-wide risk-taking racing. All guys able to do it. It looks like the 61 just gets a little loose middle corner. Able to hang on to it there. Not quite sure when that caution came out, if it came out because he stopped or what happened there. Eddie Smith, still your leader. This might be a different restart this time now for Jonah Colbert. I don't think Eddie's going to be able to get away as easily. No lapped cars in between him and the rest of these guys. As you see, I think that's Steve Loving there on the outside. He'll be technically third. New update score for the Chiefs. Bills game 26-21. The Chiefs. $14 to go. When we go green, it'll be 13 to go. Eddie Smith, your leader. Jonah Colbert, Stephen Loving, and Fry Hubbard, your top 4. All with a shot at this thing. It ain't over yet. Eddie Smith with a great jump. Jonah Colbert giving chase, but Steve Loving right behind them. And here comes Jonah Colbert. Laps, 12 laps to go. Does he have anything for Eddie Smith here toward the end? Does anybody have anything for Jonah? He's Loving right there. Some hard racing throughout the field behind them, but we're going to stay right here with the action at the front. Because Jonah Colbert is there. The question is, can he get by Eddie Smith with 10 to go? He's letting it all hang out, I promise you that. See if Eddie's truck starts to fade here at all and maybe even push a little bit. That's what Jonah wants. Jonah wants to see. The tough part is Jonah's in that dirty air behind Eddie Smith, and he'll find his car or truck is getting tighter than Eddie's will be, just because of the air getting dumped on his front end. It might take a change of lanes, maybe a high side run to really close that gap. They've started together to kind of pull away from the third and fourth place drivers of Steve Loving and Chris McLean, and Fry Hubbard even there in fifth as well. Now Eddie opens the gap a little bit to Jonah. Six laps to go. Jonah still in fighting distance. The question is, can he make it happen? Not doing that. Can't hit the apron. That's not going to work. Ooh, caution is out. And that brings out our third Wreckage Rewind of the night, brought to you by Kinder Farm and Ranch. Ooh, a little touch of the apron for the 50 machine. And into the side of the 73. The 73 collecting a bunch of guys. The 19 as well. Yeah, John Smeal just touching the apron there, shoots his car up the track into the side of the 73 machine of Ryan Huff. Ryan Huff coming back around in front of the 19 of Matt Clement. It also looks like it blew the engine there on the 73 possibly too. Not what Jonah necessarily wanted to see, but it does give him another shot at this restart, so. It does reduce the number of laps that Jonah's going to have to do anything with. So he probably wanted to see it go green. So we'll have a green-white checker here. A lot of guys hitting pit road right now. Some for damage, I'd imagine. Some with some tire strategy. Greg Froelich, Michael Swink, Greg Barnett, Matt Knights, Matt Clement. Clement was in that wreck, so that's why he went. All right, they're double filed up. This will be the last lap of pace as we see the truck lights are off. What can Jonah do with Eddie? Eddie's been untouchable so far tonight. All right, here we go. Green flag is out, and Eddie Smith is rolling. Jonah getting a huge push from the 05 of Chris McLean on that outside line. Man, chasing him all over the place. Jonah finally gets it rolling. 2 laps to go here from Kansas. Steve Loving to the inside of the 05 now. Jonah Colbert giving chase to the 87. Well, if you ain't first, you're last. 1 lap to go. Final lap. What does Jonah Colbert have for Eddie Smith? Can he get to his bumper? Not able to close the gap down the backstretch. Eddie actually opening it up through 3 and 4. And Jonah's just not going to have anything for him. They're 3 wide behind him, though, for third. Who's going to get the podium there? Steve Loving at the line. Great race from those guys. Congratulations to your winner, Eddie Smith, on a dominant performance. And the normal Rebels celebration wreckage. Trust me when I tell you, these guys think it's an honor to get sent to outer space. All right, we got some awards to give out. And one of the first awards we're going to give out while we're waiting for people to get into the chat here and talk to us about their race is the best paint of the night. And that, for me, has to go to the 61 machine in the Gremlins Hot Rod, Hagen Ellingson. Your Hard Charger Award is going to go to the guy that made up the most positions, and that's presented to you by Evil Empire Sim Sport. That Hard Charger tonight is Steve Loving with a podium finish up 16 spots. Actually, I take that back. Kai Shappert, 19 spots. Made up throughout the field, so Hard Charger goes to Kai. Congratulations, Kai, on that. Your Hard Luck Award winner, presented by P&J Motorsports, is got to go to the... Let's see here. I guess the 56 of Justin Miller, I believe. So 56 of Justin Miller. Hard Luck Award from P&J Motorsports. And Mr. Irrelevant has got to go to Todd Schott. Todd hitting pit road early and not having anything to do with the race. And those are your awards tonight. Let's see if we can talk to the race winner, as well as the top 3. So we'll start with Steve Loving. Hey, Steve, it's Joe Wright in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Joe, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, congratulations on that P3. Some pit strategy, staying out a little longer, get you some track position late in the race, and you find yourself with a chance at a podium finish. Great job coming to line, 3 or 4 wide there, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, I had a horrible qual, which is unusual, but I wanted to try to figure out a new way to get up front. Decided to do a super late pit, knowing everybody would burn up their tires on the first stint. And try to go conservative, save them, go late, come back out, floor it the whole time, short pit with the group, and then continue to floor it. Figured I could work my way through the pit on the last, or work my way through the field in the last 50.
Yeah, and then during that last pit, were you on pit road when the caution came out? I wasn't sure about that. Were you already back on track there?
No, I just got back on track. I was on track maybe about 2 laps. It came out, and then I was immediately freaking out, wondering was I a lap down or not because that timing was horrible. I was
Yeah.
like, "Uh oh."
Yeah, so bad timing, but turns out to work out in your favor there. So awesome, awesome job there, Steve, on the strategy, getting yourself that podium position. Do you have anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, definitely the first Coke Zero, but
I love Coke
supporting
Zero.
sponsors Dang Lang, series sponsor Hardline, Simula Race Designs, and Shiba New Crypto, all sponsors of this league. Definitely support us. It means a lot to the league. JC Motorsports, Eddie, Jonah, and I, all three of us on the same team, taking the podium is nice. So that was a great finish. But everyone here runs a great league, great guys on the track. Worked with Fry a little bit tonight, worked with a few others, but yeah, had a great time. And thanks to this, you guys for the broadcast and everything you do to support the league. It means a lot.
Yeah, awesome job tonight, Steve. It was good seeing you up there, and congrats on that podium finish. We'll see you again next week.
All right, thank you. Have a good
Yep.
one.
All right, your second place finisher, Jonah Colbert. Jonah, I thought you might have had something for him there at the end, but man, Eddie, really, really tough at the point tonight.
Yeah, he was pretty quick. He pretty much led start to finish there, with the exception of those pit stops. He had it figured out, that's for sure. I could get up to his bumper on the draft there on fresh tires, but that's about it. I just couldn't get enough of a run to make anything happen at the end. But that was a good run for us. Just tried to keep the truck clean, stay out of trouble, and it seemed to work out. So.
Yeah, it sure did for you coming home P2. Not a bad day after all. I'm sure you'll take that. Anybody you want to thank, Jonah?
Yeah, I just thank the guys at Team Dingaling, JC Motorsports, and those guys. I appreciate Intensity Broadcasting for putting this race on so we can have our family watch it back and stuff. You do a great job, and that's it.
Sweet. Congratulations on your podium finish, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, thanks, man.
Yep. And last but not least, Eddie, I'm running out of time, but I wanted to get you in here because that was a dominating performance from you. And man, what a race for you tonight.
Yeah, that was a good one.
what what were you thinking when that caution came out while you're on pit road? Were you worried?
Yeah, you never really know what's going to happen, with iRacing scoring, and it screwed it up anyway. But luckily it worked out in my favor. So was able to still hang on to the lead and have fresh tires, and that's all I needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Not anybody having anything for you there. Were you dialing the bright brake bias around a little bit? Because I saw you almost loop it hitting the pit road on the second green flag pit stop.
No, whatever it was on the setup, I didn't touch none of the brake bias or
Okay.
anything. I wasn't even, I was using a little brake on the long run in 3 and 4, but yeah, no, I was just trying to get as much as I could because I know Jonah pitted a lap earlier, and so I knew that I had to get it's really difficult getting off the track there because that pit road's pretty sharp and that getting off on the apron. So I just got a little too hot getting out of there.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that win there, Eddie. It was a dominating performance from you. You got anybody you want to thank before I let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank all the team Dingaling, all the guys on the team working together, coming up with a good strategy. Thanks Swink for putting this on, all the sponsors that we have. I'm going to take about 20 minutes here and go through the sponsors. Hardline Transport Solutions, in memory of Matthew Mann, Dang Lang, Racing Designs, Smill Racing Designs, Shibu Inu Crypto, Intensity Broadcasting, of course, Peg Leg Felts, P&J Motorsports, Evil Empire, Thunderstruck Super Series, Kinder Farm and Ranch, B&K Motorsports, Bulsky Window Tinting. I want to thank all those guys, man. We need them to get this league running, so definitely appreciate them. So definitely want to thank them and my team.
Yeah, awesome job. Thanks again, Eddie. Great race, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, man. See ya.
Yep. All right, that about wraps it up here from Kansas Speedway in the original Rebel Racing League Outlaw Truck Series, brought to you by Hardline Solutions. And as Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over